Shalom Casper. Hello. Um, we have also here, not this, this. We try to have slideshow all the time, like can remind me to achieve authenticity. How do you say this?
Authenticity.
Authenticity. Like authentic?
Yes.
Yeah. Addressing imposter syndrome. What is imposter in Russian?
Imposter syndrome is when you think you aren't really contributing and you don't know if you're useful or.
Yes, we will say what is it imposter syndrome towards the end of our meeting, but imposter means like fake.
Yeah.
In other words, meaning you're faking it. You're not really deserve. You're not really belong. So each one of our meetings will talk about different um, um, issue. For example, this imposter syndrome is what we're going to mention today. Mostly today we will talk also about the course, the Tanya, some of the principles that we will have throughout the course, and also in the end we will talk also about this. Now, I would say from the beginning that this course, the key to all the 6 meetings, if you talk about love, about happiness, about pain, about guilt, about shame, and lack of self-esteem, that we will talk about this course, all those problems. Yes, the keys will be always the same in general. This is one of the points that Alter Rebbe, as we call it, the first Rebbe of Chabad, the author of Tanya, Alter Rebbe, that he presented in Tanya. Now, in the beginning we will talk general about the course. Feel free to write your name on booklets and use this booklet all the time. You'll have some how you say we will have texts and how it's called in English, exercise. Only if you're planning to do it all the time, start doing it. If not, you don't need to. No, I'm just saying. I'm serious.
What do you mean, like all the time?
Like next meeting, you have your own book and use it again. It's not hard. I'm just saying. So we will start with exercise number 1. It's in page 2. You can see the exercise by yourself. We have feeling and score to each feeling. The score key is how much we had those feelings during the past week. So 1 is very low, 5 is very high. If you want to score yourself and then calculate. Huh?
Yeah, I know this type of.
You know this one?
I don't like these.
You don't like this
scoring exercises.
Bring me, I would do also for myself.
It's very.
Do for yourself, why not?
Because it's very.
Eurrier.
I mean, you cannot use numbers to.
It's better than nothing.
Yes.
I might as well just tell you.
No.
No, you see, if
But you yourself don't know exactly.
Yes, we don't trust your judgment.
Yes.
It's very general, like interested.
Try.
Okay.
Something number 12. What's in English? Alert. What does that mean, alert?
Like preparing for something bad or being ready.
Yeah. In Hebrew, it's a bit different.
Yeah,
I
we
have-
know Hebrew is wrong.
I got it. 1 second. It's how to calculate. Okay, I got the point. Do you have a general answer?
Like general, what in general?
I don't know. You don't
General
have
answer.
details and answer. You don't.
General answer I don't need. I know I'm a mess. So
This is general answer.
yes. Let's try. Give it a lot to destroy the book.
Maybe the respect.
Pencil? You can pull out this into symbol.
What?
Pull out this into symbol.
Okay, we're ready to continue. Yeah. Alexander, you ready? Or a few minutes? Yeah, in general. So wants to share something?
I got 4 points more on the positive.
4 points.
Yeah, but
Wow.
it doesn't make sense.
You think what?
That it's not like that.
By the way, I don't see a positive and negative. They calling it.
Yeah, they're
negative.
calling it.
For example, part of the positive is number 16. It's positive.
Mm-hmm.
But I wrote very high point for number 16. 4. For me, it's the highest. I didn't put 5.
Mm-hmm.
And 4 and 16 was for me this week about negative thing. It was very. It was like I was also in 11. I put number 4. because something this week was very, how do you say, angry me.
Yeah.
So that's why it's high point. So it's not
What did
not
you,
exactly positive or
what did you
negative.
put in the point 8?
8, 1.
Same.
Why?
Okay. Someone else want to share or it's enough? Enough. You don't need to share it. It's
Shame
for
I cannot
yourself.
put to you. It's interesting. It's acceptable.
Okay. So I see that they're writing what is the, how you say memutza?
Average.
Average. Average is for positive 33.3.
For you?
No, average.
Where do you see this?
They're telling it to me.
What do you mean?
I have. You have 33? Well, I have 28. And negative is 17.4.
How do you get the point? No, I don't get it. 0.4. When?
Ah, good question. It's average, so that's why they calculate.
Oh, you mean it shows there?
Yeah, here I
Okay.
have a different booklet
Uh-huh.
with more details. Okay. Now this course will not be here to solve situation in life that making us angry. To solve the situation. If you're stuck in now all the city's traffic jams, probably you noticed. I don't know if you, but
Yes.
the last days it's crazy jams. It will not solve the traffic jams. It will only give us some insights how to react when you have situations. Okay, let's start with text number 1. It's coming from letter of the Rebbe. I don't know to whom, but the Rebbe wrote it to someone, and this kind of introduction to what we're going to do this course. Michael, please read.
In our world, everything is a mixture of good and bad. Human beings must choose which aspects they will emphasize, contemplate, and pursue. For in each person's life, there are two possible approaches: to see the good that surrounds us, or the opposite. It is instructive that our sages tell us that Adam was an ingrate. Even before he was banished from the Garden of Eden, where he lived in a literal paradise, he complained about his circumstances. Conversely, there were Jewish men and women who thanked and blessed the Creator and received the morning blessings while living through the most horrifying times in the German concentration camps. Ultimately, each individual's circumstances will lie somewhere between these two extremes. Needless to say, my intention is not to imply that anyone deserves suffering, God forbid. My point is simply to underscore the reality. The type of lives that we live, whether full of satisfaction and meaning or the opposite, depends in large measure on our choice, which dictates whether we will focus on the positive or on the negative.
Exactly. So what the Rebbe is saying here, one second. Yeah. Okay. We still not here. So what the Rebbe is saying here is something that, from one hand, we have Adam. Adam lives in paradise, and he have complaints. And Jewish people, there were Jews living in the camps of the Nazis, waking up in the morning and saying the morning blessings that there means, and some of them, of course, some of them meant truly to say thank you for God that I'm waking up in the morning. All the world can be fit between those two categories. If you Adam, or you are, God forbid, a person living in terrible, terrible generation and time and place. What you would do to complain or to say thank you, this is dependent on you. Or this is what we have here. Now, this course will be, we did the first exercise in order to understand that this course will talk about those kinds of things, about the emotions that we had in the last week. I just would say it for Casper, I would say some of them: distress, interested, excited, upset, strong, guilty, scared, hostile, enthusiastic, proud, etc., etc. Afraid, active. Okay, now let's talk a bit more about what is positive emotions and what is negative emotions. What does that mean? We started categorizing these positive and negative emotions. What does that mean? Positive emotion and negative emotions. Who wants to read text number 2? Alexander, you can do it.
Negative emotions such as fear, sadness, shame, anger, uh, contempt, guilt, disgust, anxiety, disappointment, embarrassment, loneliness, envy, and hatred share the property of involving an appraisal that something is wrong. One's well-being is threatened. One's goal have to be abandoned. One lack what one desires. One view oneself as wrong or as not projecting the desired appearance to our and so on. In contrast, positive emotion, happiness, gratitude, pride, love, relief, hope, and so on involve appraisals what one is meeting one's goals, what a bad event has not come to pass, what one is meeting or exceeding one's own standards, but one's relationship with another is secure, and so on.
Thank you. So this is quote from professor to psychology, and what he's saying, negative emotions are basically all the negative emotions like disappointment, embarrassment, loneliness, jealousy, hatred, guilt. They are all basically saying we're not feeling good. You're feeling bad. Why? Basically, you're lacking something and you're not feeling secure. So you're missing something and you're not feeling secure. But positive emotions are we feeling good. Why? Because I achieve the standards that I gave myself, and sometimes even more. So those are positive emotions. Now, very important to add, as I started saying before, positive emotions not necessarily here yet. They are not good emotions. And negative, they are not bad. I can be happy. Why? Because this person I hate and he just lost a lot of money, so I'm happy. So I have positive emotions, but it's bad emotions.
It's good emotion.
I can love someone, but she's married. Positive emotion. Bad emotion.
It is
Okay.
very specific man.
Yeah, you can say so.
Yeah.
You can
You
say
can
about
act according to
Huh?
it. And you can act according to it.
yes, you can be happy and kill him, and then
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can love the wife. Exactly. So now another small exercise. It's a list of negative emotions, and you can write to yourself or look and ask yourself what of those emotions you will want this course to be effective on. We are in page number 6?
Yeah.
6. Okay.
By the way, can you quickly recall what was his average numbers?
33.3. 21?
21.
No, positive emotions.
21.
You serious?
Yes.
And negative?
30.
Yeah, in a bad situation, my friend.
No, it's not.
Average is 33.
Like
Positive,
it's your pathetic average.
not mine. It's the world. You know, as you call it, common sense. Your people.
Can't compensate. You probably have 50.
Okay. So we are in, yeah, you see 1.2 exercise. It's negative emotions from who we want to, that this course will help us control. So there is some, I would say the first one for me. How you say anger? Anger. Okay, let's continue. There is important point that if we talk about right now, if this moment I'm angry or something, this moment is built from what happened for me in the past and what I am thinking would be in the future. For example, I can be worried from something that will happen in the future, or I can be angry from something that happened already in the past. Okay, and those, the past and the future, basically affecting איך אומרים הווה?
Present.
The present. The past and the future affecting the present. Why? Because the past, something happened for me in the past and it's getting me angry right now, or something will happen in the future and it's getting me worried right now. There is some people, some situations that you getting angry from something that will happen in the future. You know this feeling, Miko? I know. I personally know this feeling. I can imagine how someone will react to something I'm telling him. I'm already getting angry. How stupid he is. But he didn't say it. Okay. There is the same exercise 1.3 about positive emotions. What emotions do you want that this course will help us strengthen? Strengthen. So you can also look.
What is zeal?
What is? Which one?
The last one.
Since then it's
Zeal.
positive.
Zeal means בעברית התמסרות. How you say התמסרות?
Determination, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's more about giving.
No.
You want something, Alexander?
But you know, I used to know what determination is a positive thing, but zeal it's a very negative thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Why?
Like religious zealousy. You know, to be good Christian, we will burn down all the Jews. This kind of zealousy.
Actually, in Hebrew, itmasut, it's just to be dedicated.
And see the results.
He's
not-
dedicated more than
I
me.
want to improve this.
Exactly.
So,
Like
Very
even further.
No, there is
There's
there
no
is
limit.
direction. Also, this is true. Okay, now we can summarize this part of our class that we understood that there is positive and there is negative emotions. Negative emotions are emotions that basically all the negative emotions making us not feel good, and positive emotions are emotions that bring us to feel good. And in this course we will try to do some exercise, this what we did till now, it's 2 exercise or 3, just to be clear what positive and negative emotions we have and we want to change a bit. Okay. Now, the next part, we will start Tanya to see why it's important to have positive emotions. Why it's important? Now the obvious answer would be, what do you mean? Because it's making us feel good. Positive emotions means I feel happy, I feel calm, I feel good. So this is the reason to have positive emotions, but this is not the full answer. Now in this text, Alter Rebbe telling us in Tanya another very important thing that's happening when we're feeling good. Now, first of all, we will ask a question. If there is two boxers, two boxers fighting in the arena, yes? One is big, strong, and the other one is small, weak even.
They actually don't allow that.
Yes.
But this it's a range arena. I'm talking about real life story. It happened here in the street.
Alright.
Okay.
Then you should
Now-
call the police.
Now you should call the police. But in the meantime,
And then
You bet money.
and bet money, yeah.
so don't call the police. Wait for the police.
No, they can bet as well.
So the question is, who will win? So it seems that the answer is obvious. We can ask these questions.
The guy with the knife.
We can ask this question in a different way. Yeah? Let's say we have very good sports car, like what's no
The bald boy.
Ferrari, and strong engine, working very well, and very average car, or less than average, weak, and they have like this marathon. Who will win? This is the simple question. Now let's see what Alter Rebbe think about that. Text number 3a, Miko.
Then attempting to be victorious over a physical opponent, such as in the case of two individuals who are wrestling with each other, each one's striving to fell the other. One who is lazy and sluggish will be easily defeated and will fall, even if that individual is stronger than the other, if it's exactly so in the struggle against one's negative impulses.
There is the power, the strength that I have. This is very important factor. Yes, how big this wrestling guy is, how strong he is, or how strong is the engine of this Ferrari is. Of course, it's important. But if the Ferrari doesn't have fuel, it can move a bit and stop. If this very big guy have no motivation to fight, he's not feeling that he's maybe he doesn't see clearly the situation, and he think that he have no power. He have no fuel that motivating him to move. He will not win. The fuel in the car's example and the feelings in the wrestling example, this is very, very, very important part. It's not the only thing that matters, of course. It's matter your abilities, of course. But if you will do the work, use your powers or not, is dependent on what in the fuel that you have, in the feelings, or in the fuel. Again,
Practically, I'm trying to say, first point in fighting, you must fight.
no,
Like you
you must feel.
have willingness to fight.
Yes, exactly. And also to feel what are your strengths, meaning the fuel should not go to split it inside the car. You should put it in the right place. I mean, in the engine. Okay?
Are you doing this from personal experience?
No. Now, so this is the analogy that Alter Rebbe brings. Let's see. Okay. Emotion one, emotion, shame, and actually, I don't understand how this one helps us. Negative. Okay. This is very not helping. Sorry, I don't understand anything. No, serious. Maybe it's not the
something
right.
what you don't want to hear from the teacher.
No, in this one, maybe it's not the right. Maybe there is better. Okay, doesn't matter.
Let's simplify the
No, there is in the end actually key points, and this usually it's very good, but this one is not so good. Okay. Now, as we know, we will now talk about the last words of the Alter Rebbe text. Impulsive. What was there?
Negative impulses.
Yeah, impulses. Negative impulses. But before that, I mean, we should understand that all our life is this fight. Why all our life is this fight? We will understand in a minute. Now, all our life, if we have a fuel, emotion that telling us you are stronger than your negative impulses,
Weakness.
weaknesses, so you have fuel to win the weaknesses that you have. But if you don't have the fuel, you will not win. Now, let's continue with Alter Rebbe and Michael.
It is exactly so in the struggle against one's laziness, against one's negative impulses. It is impossible to conquer them with laziness and sluggishness, which originate in negative emotion and in a heart that is numb like a stone.
Okay, telling us that we are here. Now he's showing me a picture. Now, okay. So here, only one line, but they're telling us something very important. In the winning, I cannot read it in English, sorry. In the winning of this war with the negative impulses, you cannot win it by laziness, that they are coming from what?
A heart that is numb like a stone.
A heart that is numb like a stone. Now this is very important. A person can say, I'm lazy. And this is a very common thing to say. I'm lazy. Now Alter Rebbe is saying something very important. Laziness is not a thing, it's a symptom. The thing itself is something else. Now, for example, a person that's saying, I'm lazy, and if you would tell him, this guy, let's go, you have a free vacation in Hawaii for a week. Even though he's lazy, he will go there and do the diving in the water, and he will go to the extreme things, and he will do it. Yes? Now, why you got rid from your laziness? Because the cause of the laziness was gone. You were lazy for a reason.
So you need to imagine you go to Hawaii every week.
You don't need to imagine.
They don't have money to do it.
No. When you're going to Hawaii, you're going to Hawaii. But why all your life, you need to think about somewhere else. You should have good life also where you are.
Yeah, you have a nice beach here.
No, life. The only thing good in life is beach. It's water.
Especially this one.
No, of course not. So if you're creating good life here, so the laziness will gone even here. Not only when you're going to other places.
Yeah, but you cannot get rid of routine here.
No, of course there is routine, and always it's good to break the routine, and that's why you're more excited. All true, but every person that is saying that he can be in his bed for a long time and not move,
Yeah, it's
But
called sleeping.
yes, right. But there is also something that's called laziness and how you say this depression. It's not the thing itself. Depression is something else. But in general, those are symptoms. Your symptom of heart is closed. Your heart is closed. You don't feel the positive emotions towards the situation that you are in right now. Okay, so it depends again in the head. Now, okay, there is a very, very common example of a diet. People that are trying diets. Some people drink that because they feel they have too much weight. Some people feel that they're just helping them. Now, I don't know. I think most of the people that starting diet, they are finishing. I mean, they're finishing in the middle. Yes. Now, some of them probably trying again. But the point is that when you finish, because you have no power to overcome this ice cream, and you're eating this ice cream. So in this moment, you're doing something that you like, but you're not feeling good about it. So we need to understand what is positive and negative and what is depend on. Meaning why you did the diet. And understand that this is good for you. And then it helps in the fights of life. Now let's try to see it more. Now let's just finish the sentence in 3C. It's Alexander.
Rather, conquering one's negative impulses requires alacrity, which derives from positive emotion and from a heart which is free and cleansed from any trace of worry, and negative emotion buds over.
Yes. So the happiness coming from open heart, this is the fuel that giving us powers to continue on. Okay. Let's. There is sometimes that you have emotion of happiness, of success, that you feel that you
Prevail.
yes, you did something, you achieved something. Okay. Now there is a Hasidic saying. Michael, read the text number 4. Hasidic saying. And
There is no biblical commandment mandating that we be joyful. Likewise, negative emotion is not prescribed by any biblical prohibition. But joy accomplishes what no mitzvah can accomplish. A negative emotion causes greater damage than any sin.
so there is no commandment to be happy. But why there is no commandment to be happy? It's like when you're buying a car. You will not buy it with the fuel. But the fuel is a separate thing. I didn't buy the fuel. I buy the car. Why? Because obviously, if you want to drive, you should put the fuel inside. Now, again, if you don't have the fuel, there is no use for the car. So God gave us 630 mitzvot, or if we want a good life. For example, a person working and he have good salary and he living in the perfect neighborhood, in the perfect country, and everything is fine and he's healthy, but he's not happy, he have a miserable life. End of story. But a person, there is a story about one of the, the story. I think you told me the story lately, or someone told me that the great rabbi of Mezrich, that he was the rabbi of Alter Rebbe. He had a student, his name was Rabbi Zusha Me'anikel. That he was poor in very extreme level, very, very poor. And this one of the students of the Magid of Mezrich came to him and told him that he want to be happy in what he have in his life. It's not enough. He always feels that he deserves to have more. So the rabbi told him, go to Rabbi Zusha to see this poor guy, this poor student of mine. Go to his house. So he went to his house, he knocked on his door, and he saw how poor he was. And he said, wow, he much poorer than me. But then he thought, this is the reason that the Rebbe sent me here, to see that there is some other student that is much poor. Probably not. So he asked him, so Rabbi Zusha, the poor guy, asking him, why are you here? So he told him, because the Rebbe, I told the Rebbe that I am not happy, I'm not satisfied. So he sent me here. So he told, Why he sent you here? I'm the most satisfied person in the world. Why you need to be here? What you have to learn from me? Meaning, that was the lesson. The lesson was that he, in his mind, was satisfied. He had enough. And so it's all about mindset, basically. So this is happiness. Happiness is not a commandment, but this is the fuel of everything. Now, Alter Rebbe is not here to talk about the symptoms. Your symptom is what? You're depressed because you not understand your place in life. Maybe you don't have purpose. Your symptom is you angry. Those are symptoms. What is the source of the symptoms? Is negative emotion. And the Rebbe is saying that positive emotion is the most important thing. This is the fuel. Now, how you reveal, how you talking, what is the meaning of this? I mean, we understand there is positive emotion, negative emotion. How you feeling more positive emotions? Now, is the third part of our meeting, and they're saying to see now the video of Tanya, that we saw it already. We will read the text that we saw in the video that Alter Rebbe introducing his book, why he wrote this book.
You turn this off.
Yes? By the way, Daniel said that he will come. Daniel.
At the end, when we begin playing, he will definitely come.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, Alexa, it's your turn.
No.
It's Mikos. Okay, пожалуйста. Text number 5.
Oh. I address those who know me well, each and every member of the Hasidic community who lives in our land and in a what does it mean?
I don't see.
Adjacent, like nearby.
And the adjacent lands, those with whom I have had frequent warm conversations and who revealed to me all the secrets of their hearts and minds in all that pertains to their heartfelt service of God. To them I direct my words in this work, entitled Likutei Amarim.
Yes.
Is it Jewish?
It's Hebrew.
This looks like something very Latin.
Likutei
A
Amarim.
co-
It's a literal translation.
a compilation of discourses. This work is comprised of responses to the many questions frequently posed by Hasidim in our land, seeking advice and moral guidance in the service of God, each according to their spiritual station. Time no longer permits me to reply to everyone individually and in detail. Furthermore, I record this idea because people tend to forget the responses I gave them. I have therefore recorded all the replies to all the questions to be preserved for perpetuity and to be readily available to all. There is no longer any need for people to press to be admitted to talk with me in private, for in this work everyone can find counsel to soothe their soul and proper guidance on any matter that one finds difficult in the service of God.
How far you are from here? 10 minutes. To invite Daniel?
No.
You are invited, of course, to come. I think you will get yes. I think. I don't know. the truth is that we're recording this meeting and you can see it in the record. It's okay? Of course, you don't have to be so. Okay. Let's see. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. See you. Bye. Good evening. Okay. So, thank you, Miko. The Alter Rebbe had, I would say, tens of thousands of Hasidim in Eastern Europe, and they asked many questions. Actually, the Hasidim were not all exactly the same people. We had many levels of people. It's not that they all were exactly the same. And Alter Rebbe wrote this book as answers, but this book is giving, it's called the Bible of Hasidut. Why? Because like the Bible is summarized of great and deep ideas in few words, the same thing is the Tanya is not expressing all the depths. You need to look carefully in the words and then understand from them the idea behind and apply it to your life. Alter Rebbe have many other books, but they are not the Bible of Hasidut. They are ideas of Alter Rebbe that are very important, ideas of Hasidut. But this, the Tanya, we're learning like a Bible, meaning it's short words but great ideas. So, what the Hasidim talked with Alter Rebbe. So in exercise 1.4, we see complete the following sentence. For most people, the primary struggle in life is between and What? Between what?
Paradise and the Holocaust.
It's for you and for you only.
For most of the people, the primary struggle in life is between, yes, working hours, 9 to 5. Yes. Whatever. So.
Is it really
What?
What is?
No, there is no answer.
Like for every. It's like answer for yourself.
Yes. That the idea is that the idea in Tanya book is not to answer to the I would say to resolve the conflict, this struggle, but to find what is this struggle and to define it properly and to know what are the ways to win it. This is the idea of that. Now, this is about the Tanya, author, content from the foundational principles of Hasidim written as a response, mission statement, a guide for the first problem. Tanya, not only the resolution, the definition of the struggle. This is very important. As you see, maybe I need to download it and it will be more clear. Okay, now we will go to one of the most important principles of Tanya, and that will be the key to many of the things that we will learn. I learned a few times with you in general, and let's start reading. Text number 6a. This is quote from first chapter in Tanya, meaning it's one of the first important principles that Alter Rebbe bringing in Tanya.
Rabbi Chaim Vital writes in Sharei HaKedusha and in Etz HaChaim that each of us, whether righteous or wicked, has two souls, two distinct life forces. As it is written, I have created souls in the book of Yeshayahu. One life force originates in unholiness. All negative character traits stem from this life force.
Okay. each person have two souls. Now I don't know how the world treats the word soul, but the soul is a self-life organism, meaning it have its own life, and each person have in him two souls. And the first one, it's the first one is from the negative unholiness, and all negative character coming from her. Now, 1 second, we didn't finish this first soul because it's not the old picture. The ideas of like anger,
Selfishness,
selfishness. There is some word that I don't know. איך אומרים גאווה?
pride,
Pride, קלות דעת,
ease of mind,
ease of mind. It's in a good way. קלות דעת,
like being careless.
careless.
Carelessness.
Yeah.
There is
It's
no
not
such
exactly-
Like
emotion.
being a
It's not
hippie.
exactly. It's not exactly the
Yeah.
translation,
Well-
but those negative emotions coming from this unholy soul. Text 6b.
This life force is also the source of God character traits, such as mercy and benevolence.
So also of good character traits coming from this unholy soul. Like what? Like mercy and benevolence. What does that mean? גמילות חסדים.
Доброжелательность.
Huh?
By the way,
Indifference. What is indifference?
I don't care.
Indifference. Okay. So this unholy soul is the source of bad emotions and also some good emotions coming from her. How come? How come? Before we answering how come, let's continue to text number 6.3. 6c, basically.
oh, it's a long text.
Yeah, enjoy.
The second life force is a part of God above, literally.
This is the second soul. The second soul is part of God. Now let's talk about those two souls. Okay? Now, we call usually the first soul that we presented natural soul. This is source of negative character traits, drive, very important for self-preservation and self-gratification. Now, let's explain that. We're not calling him good soul and bad soul. This is not the names. The names is natural soul and divine soul. And so, how they are opposites? They are opposites in a way that the natural soul cares about one thing, and it's called itself. It cares about itself. That's why it have always self-preservation, self-pleasure. This is the most important and the only thing that's important to the natural soul.
So it's natural instincts.
Exactly. It's like our instinct. It is our instincts. Why? Because our body, it's basically the physical part of the natural soul. The natural soul is the life of our body. That's why our instincts are natural, from the natural soul. The godly soul cares about one thing and only one thing, not itself, about God. It doesn't care about itself at all. It cares about God and to be close to God, to love God, to fear God. Now, it's very important to remember that it's not good and bad fight. It's not the fight between good and bad. It's the fight between natural instinct to be egoistic, to take care about ourselves, to be selfish, or to be holy and not to take care about myself only.
Selfless.
To take care about my surroundings. You had a question before.
No.
You had, but you don't have anymore. You had.
So I had a comment. But
What was the comment?
You practically said it.
Okay. Now, that's why natural soul have also good emotions. Why? Because again, it's not bad. Natural soul is not bad soul. A person doing charity, when he's going in the street, what he feel in that moment? He feel very good about himself. This is natural. It's not holiness. And it's very important to know. I didn't become more holy, not necessarily when I did something good. It doesn't mean that I'm bad. It means that my natural soul have also good characters in it, but their motive is selfishness, because I want to feel good.
The holiness in it is just the act of doing the charity.
This is true, but this is not the topic. It have holiness in the action. Why? Because God like that you're doing this action. Doesn't matter the motive.
But motivation matters.
But motivation matters in general. But you're doing the good action, you did the action. And God, His will is good actions, good results. But if we are in our course want to talk about motivation, and we understand that motivation is fuel, it's controlling and how you're feeling about your life and what are the feelings that you have inside, and if you have the fuel or don't have the fuel, it's important to talk about the differences between the natural soul or the godly soul. So that's why we're saying the natural soul also have good emotions. Doesn't make it holy, doesn't make it bad, doesn't make it good. It's a fact. Now, and this is very important, that as we said, a person can give charity, and it can be natural soul and it can be godly soul. Alter Rebbe coming here to talk about the motivation, the emotion that you have inside. What kind of emotion you have inside? You have a good emotion, you have or natural emotion. You have holy emotion or not. Why it's important? Sometimes not important, but sometimes it is very important. Now, another very important difference from what Alter Rebbe is saying. When we're saying that there is fight between good and bad, okay? When this fight, you're feeling this fight. You wake up in the morning, you drink coffee, you're going to work. No fight between good and bad. Yes? But when you have moral question, then there is the fight between good and bad. What the Rebbe is saying is not. It's always this fight between I take care only about myself, also about what God's will. So this fight between two souls is constant, and the fight between good and bad is only once a week when you have moral question. I don't know if we have, but so let's see again these three differences here. Natural soul, source of negative character traits, spark of God, goodness. Second thing, drive for self-preservation and self-gratifications, constantly thinking of its purpose. Third thing, self-focused, God-focused. This is the three differences between natural soul and godly soul. Now again, one second. It's not exactly the same. Good. Okay. So here we have this. The battle of life. Donuts.
Donate.
I prefer
I'm
donuts.
a bit hungry.
Donuts is preferable.
Who am I? And okay. Not only moral choices. So this is the differences between fight between good and bad, and fight between natural soul and godly soul. If you're saying the fight is between good and bad, so okay, not only moral choices, it's about every thought, word, or action. Yes, the fight between natural soul and godly soul. It's not only moral choices. Second thing is not what I will do, it's about who am I, who I am. I am a person driven by natural feelings, or I have connection to divine power. This is the question. Not the question if I'm doing what I will do. This is another different for what Alter Rebbe telling us. Third thing is not good with bad. Natural soul enjoys feel good, meaning that also natural soul can feel good with good decisions. But that's something else. You understand what the point that I want to see here? Okay. We will come back to it maybe. Now we have another exercise. Which number is it? Okay, this is the same thing. Same exercise that you said. Conventional understanding, right vs wrong, or the Tanya understanding, divine vs natural. So there is three differences: conflict, moral, immoral, God or self. Driving question: what will I do? This is the most important part. In right vs wrong, and Tanya is what will identify. What will my identity be? And time of conflict, when focused with faced with moral choice, or constant. I'm sorry for my English.
You know we have it here.
Huh? Nice.
So you shouldn't read it at all.
Okay.
Shafal? Sheffield?
Yes, Shafar. Now this is another point. I'm not sure we will touch it today. I think we will go straight to the yeah, next part. Okay, let's read text number 8. Now we will go to the how you said this מונת המתחזה? תסמונת המתחזה.
Imposter syndrome.
Poster syndrome. Okay. We need to know what is the conflict, and then it's half of the battle. If you define the problem, you know it's half of the battle already won. Now, the first conflict that there is in this course in what we call imposter syndrome. Now, it's not the most common conflict that a person have, but it is, first of all, it's more common than we think. Second thing, because they wanted to choose something short, because most of the meeting today was introduction, so they chose this conflict for the first meeting. Text number 8, maybe Miko or this is Miko's.
No, my Misha will read it.
Okay.
Gladly. Gladly.
Have you ever felt like you don't belong?
This is from who? First of all, say Google.
The text is from Abigail Abrams from Time Magazine. An article called "Yes, Imposter Syndrome is Real. Here's how to deal with it."
Okay, good.
Have you ever felt like you don't belong? Like your friends or colleagues are going to discover you're a fraud and you don't actually deserve your job and accomplishments? If so, you're in good company. These feelings are known as imposter syndrome, or what psychologists often call imposter phenomenon. An estimated 70% of people experience these imposter feelings at some point in their lives, according to a review article published in the International Journal of Behavioral Science. Imposter syndrome affects all kinds of people from all parts of life. Women, men, medical students, marketing managers, actors, and executives. Imposter syndrome can apply to anyone. To anyone who isn't able to internalize and own their successes, says psychologist Audrey Ervin. Imposter syndrome expert Valerie Young, who is the author of a book on the subject, The Secret Thoughts of Successful Women, has also found patterns in people who experience imposter feelings. Perfectionists set extremely high expectations for themselves, and even if they meet 99% of their goals, they're going to feel like failures. Any small mistake will make them question their competence. Question for discussion: how might living a divine soul, purpose-oriented life preclude the feelings described in this text?
No, what do you think? First of all, what did you read? You read what? That there is this imposter syndrome. What does that mean?
It's basically when people feel like no matter who they are, they can be a big executive or just some regular clerk. They feel that the work that they do in life, they're not really contributing to it, or they're not, their accomplishments aren't real, they're faking it, so to speak.
Yeah.
And even perfectionists, people who strive to do everything perfectly, 100%, if they feel like even a small thing they didn't do right, they're gonna feel like failures, like they're imposters.
Mm-hmm. So there is the way that they want to present the answer. We will read it. Miko, please read text number 9a and 9b.
Ah, very short again.
It's a short.
The children struggle within
Ah,
her.
sorry, it's Alexander's turn to. Alexander.
You read number 10. It's long. The children struggle within her, and she said, if so, why did I desire to conceive? And she went to seek divine counsel.
Rebecca had pregnancy and she felt balagan in her stomach, and she didn't know what to do. It was before ultrasound, of course. She went to the prophet. 9b.
God said to her, 2 nations are in your belly, 2 kingdoms will separate from your womb. One kingdom will always be mightier than the other kingdom, and eventually the elder will serve the younger.
So, you have 2 kids that are basically represent 2 nations, 2 opposites. That one will be Jacob. He will represent holiness and godliness and spirituality. And the other one, Esav, that is the oldest, he will represent life of pleasureness, always want to be תאוות שלטון, איך אומרים, לא יודע. Dominant, and he always also is not connected with God. Now this is the story, and Rebecca was happy with the answer that the prophet gave. Now, why she was happy with the answer? I mean, the question was, what's going on in my stomach? And then the answer was that you have one crazy guy in your stomach, and another one is normal. Why she was happy with the answer? So, someone have one idea?
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Because now she knows there's no like a nuclear war in there or something. It's just.
What do you mean by nuclear war?
Well, it's not usual for women to have like a war inside them.
It's very common. But
I believe it's some
basically it's
personal
in the
stuff
head.
It's going to feel.
Not in the stomach, in the head. Okay, but the answer is that she felt that there is 2 people in her stomach, and she didn't understand what's going on. One time she feel very calm, one time she feel very crazy. So What I have a person without self character. How you say split identity?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have split identity in my belly. That was concerning her. She gave the prophet. He said, "No, there's two kids. One will be good. One will be bad. It's true. One will be bad. It's bad news." But he will be absolutely bad. He will not be. He will not have doubts all the time what he's doing. He's bad, and the other one will be good without any doubts. It's two people. It's not one person that he didn't decide what he is. It's two people that absolutely know what they are. One is good and one is bad. And that answer was good for her. Now, this is also about our life. Sometimes, like as he said, imposter syndrome. Sometimes a person doing good deed. He did something good. I would say even sometimes we can say the same thing about mitzvah. He did mitzvah. He put tefillin, or he just did something good. He had a quality time, or he had one small mission that he did for himself, and he did it. But he's not feeling very happy about that. His emotions are blocked. He's not really feeling what he's supposed to be feeling. This is a bit the imposter syndrome. He's not feeling exactly what he's supposed to be. He's not fully in the situation. And the answer, the reason for that is that you have two souls. So maybe when you decided to do it, and also you did it with one soul, but you also have another personality inside you. You are not fully there because you also feel now also the other soul that you have, the natural soul. Let's read only text number 10 and we will finish. You don't need to read it. You have a pass. If Michal want to read it, he can read it. I can also read it.
You want?
No. Michal.
Do not be upset or rejected while serving God in prayer, for it ought to be a joyous experience. On the contrary, intensify your efforts and focus your energy to concentrate on your prayer with increased joy and gladness. Understand that the foreign thought that has entered your mind derives from the natural soul, which wages war against the divine soul within all strugglers. Do not ascribe to the commonly held error that foreign thought is evidence that your prayer is worthless, and that if your prayer was proper, no foreign thoughts would intrude. This would be true if you possessed only one soul, a single soul that prays as well as experiences the foreign thoughts. The deepest truth, however, is that you have two souls that wage war against each other.
So if the question that arises before Alter Rebbe is, how can I, during the prayer, after meditating and thinking about the holiness of God, I'm 100% there, I'm very inside the prayer, totally focused, and then I start thinking about bad things. It means that my prayer is fake. So Alter Rebbe said your prayer is not fake. It was fake if you had only one personality praying, focusing in the prayer, and then some bad thoughts will come. It means that you're not totally there. But the truth is that you are totally there. Your godly soul is totally there, and you connecting with the godly soul. But you have another soul. And the other soul sending you its messages and its thoughts. And it's okay. Because every mitzvah that you're doing, you're 100% connected with the godly soul. And every bad thought that you're doing, you're 100% connected with the godly, with the unnatural soul. Now, we should be happy with every mitzvah that we're doing, because that was our soul overcoming the challenge, overcoming the natural soul. Now it's okay. It's good. Now, it's also about our life. It's about daily life also. Sometimes we feeling mixed. We're not feeling 100% there. It's because we have grand personality. We have our souls. We have two souls. Sometimes we feel more this side, sometimes the other side. Also, this is the reason why Judaism is not about everything or nothing. Regular way of life, you chose your way, you cannot do half. And in Judaism, it's also the purpose is not to do half. But people many times doing some. Why? Because sometimes I feel more holy, sometimes I feel less. What do you want from me? And why the reason for that is not because your soul is bouncing up and down. No, it's because you have two souls. Sometimes you have this, sometimes you have this. Now we will see short summarize of the points. Some of the points we didn't learn, and it's okay.
Lesson 1. Achieving authenticity.
Has this been working?
1.
No.
Life is a constant struggle. We have the tools necessary to be victorious in our struggles, but we cannot win if we're lazy and lethargic. 2. Laziness and lethargy